Give me a one-letter answer, a yes, a why, if you've yet to purchase a piece of real estate. You have not purchased real estate. There's far more of those individuals, as you can see, than are with experience. And then there's more folks that are in between who have some experience, may have bought one or two pieces of property over their course of investment and growing the real estate business. We need to make sure that we're bringing everybody along board in the system is going to be able to do that for us, regardless of where you're at. So as we start to look at how we buy it right, as we start to look at the discounts we need to purchase with, as we start to look at market analysis, okay, I want you to realize it doesn't matter where you're coming to me from, whether you're in the United States, whether you're outside the United States, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in Singapore, whether you're in Australia. We'll start getting into the markets that you're in here in a minute. We have to look at the very simple standard pieces. And we'll look at a market today so that you understand those pieces we're looking at. Now, I want you to understand trending, appreciation, why we invest, when we invest, and how we invest for real estate. Now, one of the interesting things is we'll talk a lot about property. We'll talk a lot about capital. We'll talk a lot about people. And as you look at this graph, where this green arrow is, following this black line, this is what you're going to call a typical real estate trend line. A typical real estate trend line. So typical real estate trending is how a market performs throughout history. Real estate has always, throughout history, gone up in price. Now, yeah, we have those issues where there's some crazy changes in pricing like we've seen in Florida and Arizona and California. And then we have what's called a correction. Now, a lot of people will look at what's taken place in the past and go, well, this market has crashed. This market has burned. This market has plummeted. This is a correction in market, okay? Because we have to understand that real estate will typically perform in a very standard way. Meaning it is going to go up the same amount in the same markets throughout history. Now, one of the rules that I have as a business builder rule number 22 is I only invest in markets that are appreciating at least 5%. I only invest in markets that are appreciating at least 5%. Now, that's a business builder rule. In your standard notes, I want you to write this, appreciation. Write the word appreciation. And write 1, 2, and 3 below that, appreciation. There's 3 types of appreciation we want to talk about today, okay? There's typical appreciation, okay? There is typical appreciation, which is appreciation that is going to happen throughout any industry, throughout any market when it pertains to the industry of real estate, okay? There's typical appreciation, your common appreciation. That's where we're looking for markets that are going to be at least 5%. I see some folks that are typing stuff in there. I'll come back to that and address how we're going to handle that. Number 2, there is what's called forced appreciation. Forced appreciation. Okay? Where we're buying a cheap property in a great area and fixing it up. Forced appreciation. That's number 2. Number 3 is false appreciation. False appreciation is where we are in markets that are driven outside of the norm, okay? Like you see here, through change in supply and demand. False appreciation is where we see price changes that are driven by something causing a change in the supply and demand that is outside of the norm. The norm, okay, for us as investors is a minimum of 5%. Now, 5%, there may be some individuals out there that are going, look, I live in Detroit. I live in Memphis. It doesn't appreciate at 5%. There are pockets in every market that appreciate differently than a whole. And we'll look at a market coming up to where you can see some drastic appreciation, some drastic supply and demand changes that are driving those numbers, and what you can look at in your local market, they're going to trigger that. Now, when we see this typical trend line and real estate that is performing outside of that, we need to be very, very wary. We need to understand what professional investors do during those market changes. Okay. Now, when we're in a position where markets are gradually appreciating, when we buy and hold, we're in good shape. When we buy to fix and sell, we're in good shape. But when we're in an area that is going to grow outside of norm, we need to understand what is going to be done. We'll look at South Florida, Tampa, Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. Outrageous appreciation over the course of 2, 3, 4 years between the years of 2002 and 7. Now, the difference here in professional investment versus dabbling, okay, being a dabbler is what we do. As these markets start to increase, if we're in an area where we're going to grow more than the 5%, okay, more than the 5% appreciation a year, we sell. This is a seller's market, okay? And this is where a lot of folks get confused. Real estate's going up. You know, we buy a piece of property today for $100,000. Tomorrow, it's worth $150,000. This is a position where professional investors sell the properties they have through any means necessary. And we'll start to look at the ways we exit real estate as we move along. Write this down. And this is, we're moving ahead as we do this, but I want to give you information that we're going to talk about later before we'll even get to it. But Business Builder rule number 34 is, Business Builder rule number 34. When I realize double-digit appreciation, meaning 10% or more, I sell it. When I realize 10% appreciation or higher, I sell the property. Doesn't matter what year, doesn't matter what market. If it's growing by 10%, we're going to put ourselves in a position to sell. Now, does that mean I just list it on the MLS, list it with a realtor, put a for sale by owner sign out there, let somebody go to a bank and walk away? No. A lot of times this means we'll owner finance individuals into the properties. Okay? We'll seller finance these properties. So having multiple exit strategies, Business Builder rule number 20, having multiple exit strategies is crucial. Having multiple exit strategies is crucial. The reason we must have multiple exit strategies is as the market changes, we need to be able to change around it and not be stuck as a silo investor who is buying property low and trying to sell it high. Because as that market changes, the things that you're holding on to, you're stuck with. And that's where a lot of folks got hurt in 2012, 13, 14, and yes, into today. Now, I'll answer some of these questions. Y'all are typing in just a minute. As we look at what starts to take place as markets change and they start to correct, we sell the whole way up as professional investors. We buy the whole way down. As professional investors, we sell the whole way up. We buy the whole way down. This goes along with this appreciation piece that I want y'all to understand from start to finish. That's why I have so many rules built around it. Rule number 23 is I buy the whole way up. I sell. Okay. I'm sorry. Some of y'all will chuckle at that one. I sell the whole way up. I buy the whole way down. Now, some folks will get scared at this stuff. You mean we could buy a property today that is worth less tomorrow because we're buying the whole way down and selling the whole way up? You're doggone right. Here's the reason why. If we purchase a property today at $100,000, okay, simple numbers. I'm going to type these in down here. I'll come back to the questions that y'all have up there. If we purchase a property today for $100,000, now this is professional investors. It's truly important to understand how our protection is structured. How are we protecting our money, the things that we have? If we purchase today at $100,000, and I'm telling you tomorrow it could be worth $90,000. That should be cause for alarm, but it is not. Because in this position, rents go up. Financing becomes difficult. Think back to the changes we had in the real estate market most recently. The biggest change correction that we've all seen came between 2003, 4, and 2010. The biggest incomes that we've seen as investors in real estate were in those years. One of the benefits that we have is financing becomes restricted as markets change dramatically. Banks do not lend in this market. Many of you are aware of this, but you didn't understand the profit potential, or you didn't quite understand how to structure the deals or control the deals, and we'll talk about that, that are going to put profit in your pockets. Now, as these markets sink past where they should be, we're in a position today where it is a true buyer's market. Properties in a lot of areas sell for more than where they are listed. As we're in an emerging seller's market, what we do starts to change. And market analysis, write this down. Market analysis is one of my biggest friends. Market analysis is one of my biggest friends. The more you understand the market that you're in, the more you're going to be able to profit from it. Okay, and we're going to look at that more as we start moving into some of the nuts and the bolts of real estate investing. Now, when it comes to buying properties right, to buying them at a discount, there's a system that goes along with that. And one of the things that I want you to understand is as I start teaching you things today, tomorrow, that are different than you've ever heard of, you need to, number 4, business builder rule number 4, become comfortable feeling uncomfortable. You need to become comfortable feeling uncomfortable. And the reason I say that is some of the stuff that I tell you is going to sound crazy as hell. But there's a purpose for it, and there's a system behind it. Okay? And as we get into this, you'll understand very quickly that I have your best interest at hand. Now, let me back up here and see what some folks are typing. I'm talking. I'm going through a presentation. I got to be honest with you. I do my best to monitor that chat bar. I have some folks that are here to help me monitor that chat bar. I'm going to be the one that takes care of that for the most part. Now, tomorrow I'm going to bring in Ken. You see his information here. I'm just going to take a second to explain this to you. If you have a question that I'm not going to get to cover, or I say, hey, talk to Ken about this, you need to send him an email. You need to call him. I hope more of you drive him crazy tonight than he can handle. Now, he'll stay up late. I'm telling you, he's based in Utah. I'm on the East Coast. It's a little later here. He'll do it because we love to help folks see the benefits that are available for us through this business. And he's willing to help y'all learn this stuff. So let me come back through this, answer the few that we have. Now, understand that I'm not going to answer every question every time you type it in there. And here's the reason why. I don't do this all the time, but when I do it, I teach you from a perspective that the questions that are developing will be handled by the material we're going to cover. At the end of each piece, we'll stop. We'll take a second, and I'll throw out a question section for you. I'll say, hey, what do you need to know? What didn't I cover? What aren't you clear about? Now, let me back up and take a look at what we've got here. So, why does this graph skip 2011, 2013? It doesn't. Let me go back through here and just explain to you.
I understand. I don't want you to. I want you to be here, and I don't.
I'm not being unclear to you. It's just starting in 2000 and ending in 2022. I'm just giving you an overall perspective of what a market is going to do through 2000 to 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, where we are today. Today, we're in a position where markets are below where they should be. However, in most cases, like a Florida, a California, an Arizona, they're emerging far quicker than a lot of folks could have imagined, meaning this is a yellow cautionary area, to where they should have been or where they could be. Okay, so when I show these blocks, this isn't just this is a 3-year section, a 3-year section, a 3-year section. I'm giving you an overview of what's happened in a lot of marketplaces. Okay, but what we want to be aware of is that every market has a common trend, a common typical trend. We have to be aware of the times when the real estate performs outside of the norm. Does everybody understand that? Give me a yes, one letter answer, a Y if you understand what I'm referring to. You can still hear me. Give me an N if you have no clue what I'm talking to when it comes to understanding and looking at that typical trend line. Out of 38 people, no one is confused. I like it. Now we're moving in the right direction. The bigger piece there is that I have everybody responding. Now I've got to scroll back up here to see what we were looking at as far as questions, comments. Now, hang tight. Y'all can still hear me. I'm just looking for the right ones. I've bought the house I live in. Awesome. So we're purchasing real estate. That's key. We'll talk about whether that's an asset, it's a liability. Some of you understand that. You may understand that. How we can turn it into an asset as we start to move forward and what we do with those properties. How do you know if a market is appreciating by 5%? Market analysis. I'm not going to. I hope I pronounce this right. It's Vivek. It's market analysis, and we'll come back to that. Now, this is going to be a question, a problem that I have to scroll back to some of this stuff. I live in New York, strong seller's market here. Yeah, I was in Manhattan. Me and the love of my life were in Marriott Marquis over the past weekend. I love that marketplace. Whether you're on the island of Manhattan, whether you're where her friends are, out in Long Island, there's a ton we can do there, but it's a different market. Okay, so we have to understand what drives our economy. And we're going to look at some pieces as we start to move forward in a specific market that we actually have some influence in today. Prices in New York are higher now than they were in 2006, 2007. You got that right. And that's the emerging market that you're seeing. One of the pieces in Florida. We're not buying down there. We've looked at acquiring property down there for personal reasons, for investment reasons, but we're going to give it some time so that the market, let me show you this, can emerge and show us where it's going to be. Sometimes it will drop back off, and we also want to benefit from that because history has a strange way of repeating itself, okay? So we know what that will be. I see somebody ask what business rule. John Gordon asked what that, was that a business rule? I'm not quite sure which one you were asking for. So we'll talk about that, move on. Type it in there, I see that. I want to keep moving, and I want to let you all know that if you have questions that I don't answer, because I can't get to all of them, there's one of me, there's 37 of y'all. That's why Ken's information is over here, all right? Oh, my computer does some funky things from time to time. You can call him, you can email him. My arrow doesn't go that far to the left, but to the left of the green arrow is his contact information. So reach out to him anytime you need to. Market analysis is your biggest friend. Yeah, market analysis is your biggest friend. It's not a business builder rule. I'm just telling you, understanding where you're going to be working is huge because the profit's going to be when you buy these deals. That will be a rule as we move along, and we'll get to that. Okay. This system, I appreciate that. No worries. This system is going to be based around your safety. Number one. All right. Everybody on here, I want you to know that I teach all this as if I was teaching it to my mom or dad. My mom's here this evening in my house hanging out. We're going to have some fun later on. We're doing some family stuff. There's some reasons we're together. But number one, I wouldn't teach you anything I wouldn't tell her, because your safety in this keys is number one. You're either looking to make some capital, you're looking to protect some capital, or you're looking to save capital. Regardless of where you're coming from, if you don't do it safely, then we've got problems. Number two, if we can do it safely, we can do it with some speed. All right. Now I get this. A lot of y'all have capital you're looking to protect. If you can do that quickly, you're in a much better situation. A lot of y'all are looking to make money. You don't have enough. I got that. All of us love capital. All of us love cash. All of us love the idea of money and what it does for us. I hope everybody wants some more, but we need to do that safely, because if we step outside of that norm, even if we're comfortable doing it, we're going to risk things that are not worth risking. Okay. When we do it quickly, we start to gain velocity. We start to gain momentum. It's what the banks do, and I got to tell you, they never lose. Why should we? This system that I'm going to teach you is going to be based around a lot of simple steps, and I'm going to give them to you bullet point format: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so that everybody can follow along. Now, some of y'all that have been doing this business are going to look at these and go, elementary. Some of y'all that have been doing this business for a while are going to look at these and go, there's a way to simplify my process. So hang with me as we go through these basic bullet points, okay? Number one is education. Learn what the hell it is you're going to be doing to either make money or protect it, regardless of your situation. You need to know what it is you're doing. Number two, you need to have the tools any pro is going to use in their profession. Okay, this is a profession. Whether it's an investment that's going to be hands off for you, or whether you're going to generate capital with your own time, blood, sweat, and tears. I don't recommend that. We're going to talk about how we can remove our own blood, sweat, and tears from this business. But every one of us out there who has a profession, a business, a career path, we utilize tools to do it at a higher level than our competition. If we don't, we're lost. And next to this, you can write these words: competitive edge. competitive edge. Robert Kiyosaki, which we'll talk about, one of my mentors, wrote a book. You can write this in here as well. I'll give you some suggested reads as we go along. I know a lot of you will love this piece, called The Unfair Advantage. Read it because it will help you understand that tools can benefit you far beyond the belief that you would typically have. Capital credit. Okay, number 3, I got to tell you, you can put an arrow from 2 to 3, is one of the biggest tools, one of the number one tools you're going to have in this business is your capital and credit. Now, I said your. I'm going to step back and say, look, a lot of y'all are going, man, I thought I could do this business without any money, without any credit. And I got to tell you, there is a way to make money in this business without any cash or credit being invested. But you can't make money in this business without investing cash or credit. It just doesn't have to be yours. And we'll show you ways. We're going to talk about a way tonight and into tomorrow, that you can make money by utilizing this system. Your education and knowledge, that's it. Not cash, not credit, making money from what you know. And that is going to be huge for some of us. Now, I got to tell you, is it going to be the biggest profits you see? No. The more skin you have in the game, the more profit you're going to see. The more skin you have in the game, the more profit you're going to see. Now, how do you do market analysis? We're going to get to that. Okay, I see this question that just popped up there. We're going to get into more market analysis. I'm going to give you the pieces that drive each market so you understand supply and demand. You don't have to write that down right now. We'll get into that in a minute. Can't wait to hear about that. Bad credit and BK. All right, so can't wait to hear about that. Bad credit and BK. I love that you're willing to throw that out there and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm starting from square one. Look, y'all, I get it. Some of us are in a position where we've got to climb a hill. Some of us are on top of the hill going, just tell me how to protect what I got and make more money. I'll get to it. All right. You're giving me 4 hours over 2 nights. All right. Time is what? Give me one letter answer. Or I'm sorry, one word answer. Time is what?
Money. Time is made up. Yeah, right. Time is a theory.
Precious and everything are the best answers I've seen. Of the essence is awesome too. But write this down. Time is everything.
Oh, time.
It's all I got. When it's gone, it's gone. And when I show you some pictures of family and friends and what we have fun doing, you'll understand why I would spend my time, a couple hours for 2 nights, teaching y'all something different. But look, you're doggone right. You can do this business without capital and credit, but you're going to have it. It doesn't have to be yours. If it's not yours, you're going to have to invest your time. Let me tell you, it's all you got. So make your time investment worthwhile. All right. Business builder rule. Okay. Business builder rule number 10. My new minimum wage is $3,000 an hour. Business builder rule number 10. My new minimum wage is $3,000 an hour. You're welcome if I gave you a raise, because you need to value your time far more than you do now. I got to tell you, some of y'all have been beat up, kicked around, spit on, thrown down. Get up, keep moving. All right? Your value has never changed. You're like a crumbled up $100 bill on the side of the road that's dirty, filthy, nasty. It is what it is. Take it home, unroll it. It spends the same. It works the same. You work the same regardless of what your current value is, regardless of how much capital and credit you currently have access to. okay? And write this down, because business builder rule number 8 is in the next 12 to 24 months, I will have access to 200,000 in liquid cash. In the next 12 to 24 months, I will have access to 200,000 in liquid cash. Don't fight it, just write it. I'm going to help you accomplish that if you see no feasible way of that taking place, right? Because you got to have the capital and the credit. Ken and I will help you understand that. Power team. Now, as power team goes, these are the individuals, realtors, mortgage brokers, appraisers, inspectors, contractors that are going to take our time out of this business. So we don't have to go do the work. You need to be lazy. Now, I'm not saying ESPN, CNN, Fox, BCC. I'm talking, let somebody else do the hard work so that we can focus on life. Now, your team member to the left here, Ken, I'm going to have him jump on tomorrow. We got too much to learn this evening. I want to move through all these bullet points. He's going to be able to stand in the gap for you when you have questions. Write his phone number down, write his extension down, write his email down, send him an email, call him, leave him a voicemail. Just say, hey, Bryce said to say hi. I'm going to bug the snots out of you. All right, because he's one of the best team members that you're going to have, an individual that can help you answer questions as you move through this business, okay? You need to have access to, and Chris answered it correctly, 200,000, and this is business builder rule number 8, in the next 12 to 24 months. Don't fight it, just write it. Now, number 5, a mentor. A mentor. And I mean a good one. Somebody who's been there, done that, seen the hurdles and pitfalls you can come across in this business, because people can make stupid mistakes. You can progress at the level you need to, but if you make a mistake, let me tell you, it's all over but the crying, and you're going back to square one. And there is no need to do that, because as you gain momentum in this business, write this down, you need to keep it. As I gain, and put this big bold letters, as I gain momentum in this business, I need to keep the momentum. And I'm not talking about a mentor like your Uncle Joe, your brother Bill, whoever, Sally, that has been in this business for 10 years and has 3 properties. I'm talking professionals who have a vested interest in seeing you succeed. I'll teach you how and where. Ken, your power team member, will teach you how and where and when to find the right power team members. Now, last but not least, okay, last but not least, I'm sorry, moving on. In this system, it's going to be the tasks that you need to focus on a daily basis. It's different. We're not looking at properties. Oh, cute properties. What do I do with this one? What do I do with that one? This is a simple process of finding the deal, okay? Evaluate by running your numbers and negotiating the contract, exiting the deal in the best way to maximize the capital that you have available, okay? Now, this is probably going to jump on me. I apologize if it does. I'll come back to it. Yep, I'm going to bounce right back to it. We'll come back to our guidelines. I got to tell you, I'm not a big computer fan. I have 2 of them, working on a third, and I use them all very infrequently because we have folks that help us do that. That is our team members from top to bottom. So let's go through these steps. We'll get into a break here, and we'll come back through more of these pieces so we can get a step-by-step base on how this business works. Why I want you to have a step-by-step base in real estate, okay? Write this word down, guarantee. Clean place in your notes, the word guarantee. I believe I spelled that correctly. I'm horrible with spelling. I'm great with the math. And let me tell you, you don't have to know how to spell millionaire to become one. You can do it at all levels of education with the right support, the right knowledge, the right team, the right direction. You can move in the right position very quickly. Real estate gives us three guarantees. By understanding these tasks and how to analyze the deals that we're going to look at. We're going to look at how we analyze the deals today. Number one, okay, the number one guarantee is, what am I going to invest? What I'm going to invest. Whoop, I spelled that wrong. You know the W should be an S. In real estate, I can guarantee you three things. Number one, what I'm going to invest. I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt what you're going to invest, and not found any other business that you can guarantee what your investment is going to be. I can also guarantee you, number two, what your return will be. What your return will be. Okay? And most importantly, number three, I can guarantee you'll receive when you're going to get your return. Those three guarantees I cannot find in any other business investment strategy. What I'm going to invest, what I'm going to get back as a return, and when I'm going to get it. The reason I have those three guarantees in real estate is because of leverage. It's not always best for me to buy, fix, and sell a property. Sometimes it's best for me to buy it, fix it, and finance someone into it. Cash out, refinance, take a loan, borrow the money, get my investment back. Because business builder rule number three is, I want my money back now. I want my money now. And in parentheses next to that, you can write 12 to 24 months. As a professional business owner, as a professional investor, I don't go, yeah, great, I'm going to give you $100,000 today and accept $1,000 a month, because it's 10 years before I see a true profit, because you already have 100. I want my money back now. Okay. If I have my money back in 12 to 24 months, then we can start looking at what the profits will be after my initial investment has been returned. Or again, we're dabbling. So within real estate, the things we need to do on a day-to-day basis are find the properties, sourcing these properties. All right. And it's not just the MLS, Craigslist. We need to be able to have other sources that are generating these properties for us. Okay, you can talk to Ken about ways to find properties within the strategies that you're going to be working. We'll talk about the different strategies within real estate. Number two, evaluating profit. And in parentheses, I have ROI, return on investment, because I don't invest for an ROI. This is business builder rule. This is business builder rule number 13. I do not invest for an ROI. I invest for profit. Okay. You can go broke investing your cash for a great return when you're not putting your capital back in your pocket immediately. Okay. So business builder rule number 13 is I invest for profit. I invest for profit, not ROI. Negotiation, and a big part of your profit is going to be able to negotiate in the best way possible. Negotiation. A big part of your profit is going to come from your ability to negotiate. As we get into the wholesale assignment, how to buy properties right, okay, we're going to talk about ways to negotiate. Business builder rule number 11 is I always buy at a discount. I always buy at a discount. Okay? There's not a business strategy and an investment strategy out there that is going to allow you to buy at as great a discount as you do within real estate. But negotiation is a key component to buying at that discount. Let me see a one-letter answer. How many of y'all are with me and feel you're great negotiators already? Y or N? Yes or no? Awesome. So that's a mixed response. I got a bunch of no's. That's interesting. So cool. I got some Y's. I got some mediocres getting there. Some folks are probably working on it. Here's the key. In this business, you've got to negotiate from their side. In this business builder rule number 1. Don't write this down in this fashion. Just write business builder rule number 1 and listen to me. Negotiate from their side. Okay? Rule. Just help people will come. Business builder rule number 1. Just help people. The month.
What? Just help people. Just help people. Yeah, we are helping people. Yeah, I want to learn how to negotiate. That's true. It's kind of hard. Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like just going there sounding confident. Pause this. Safe.